Not audible, sir. Not audible. Still not audible, sir. Sir, try it without the headphones.
So
Without the
maybe
headphone now.
Yeah, now we can hear you, sir.
Now you can hear me also, see me also.
Yes, sir.
Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Acha, without earphone I'm talking.
Yes,
Chalega?
sir. बहुत अच्छा, sir. We can even see the view behind you. Very nice view, sir.
Nice view also. Okay, thanks. I changed the location facing the garden side. Huh? Huh?
Yes,
You
sir.
can see my garden.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Now
Beautiful
it's better.
garden,
I
sir.
think. Thank you so much. Yes. Uh, yes. Hmm. We will today take up. Yesterday we completed motive preparation, previous and subsequent conduct, as well as the tape recording evident facts, which are the occasion, cause, and effect, mm, transaction, and relevant. So today's topic will be section 9, which is very vast. That is a very interesting section. Fact necessary to explain, introduce relevant facts. वो निकाल लीजिए आप section 9. It is quite lengthy, but we'll try and explain everything. Yes.
Open, sir.
This is a very useful section, not only for the civil cases, but especially for criminal cases. लोग चार्जिंग में लगाना पड़ेगा. नहीं, चार्जिंग में लगाएंगे तो फिर ये माइक लगाना पड़ेगा. चार्जिंग में लगाएंगे तो फिर charging will give a problem. आपको जरूरत नहीं. वो आज बोलता ना वो चार्जिंग हो. Yeah. Hello. You all
Yes,
can
sir.
hear me?
Yes, sir. Clearly audible, sir.
yes, sir.
I think something wrong with my microphone, which I'm connecting. Uh, I will just check what is the problem. बेटा तुमने क्या कौन सा फोन लगाया इधर? कौन सा वायर लगाया बताओ मेरे को. वो आपने जो उस दिन लगाया था ना अंकल. हाँ नहीं, ये फोन लगाया था मैं. ये दो. ये बराबर नहीं है. कुछ प्रॉब्लम है इसके अंदर. ये निकालो. इसके अंदर प्रॉब्लम है. ये निकालो. वो दो. एक मिनट. ये नहीं. ये निकालो. ये लगाओ. ये लगाओ. ये बराबर है. ये लगाओ बस. वो निकालो. ये वो लो. वो दो. ये दो. ये दो. ये निकालो. ये निकालो. नया वाला वो निकालो. अभी लगा. अभी लगा. Chalo. Yes. Yes. Something problem in the microphone. Oh, I am not using the microphone. Okay. As long as we can use it now.
Yes, sir. No worries, sir.
Yeah. Shall I begin now?
Yes, please, sir.
Hello. Yeah. Please open your Berac now. Yeah. Yeah. See, Section 9 deals with around 7 types of evidence which can be introduced by parties uh, for connecting to the fact in issue or relevant fact. Though the fact which is sought to be introduced by virtue of Section 9, it need not be a fact in issue or nor it be a relevant fact. But this is, you may call it a kind of a collateral fact, which is necessary to explain or necessary to connect the fact in issue or relevant fact. If you understand the section and the illustration, that will be useful to you. That will give you connect to some section, some judgment also on the point. Now let us see. Fact necessary to explain or introduce a fact in issue or a relevant fact, or which support or rebut an inference suggested by a fact in issue or a relevant fact, or which establishes the identity of any person. Pay attention to this. I will explain each of these here. Or establishing the identity of any person whose identity is relevant, or fix the time or place, at which any fact in issue or relevant fact happened, or which show the relation of parties by whom such fact was transacted are relevant so far as they are necessary for the purpose. So section is very much, quite jumbled. It is not easy to understand unless we go step by step now. Now the
Sir,
scope of the section, the
So
scope of
please,
the section.
so once in English, cite is in some other language only.
Yes, some other language also. See that here, this section, it says that here, it allows 7 types of evidence. See, earlier section 7 allowed 5 types of evidence: cause and effect, omission, so and so. Now the earlier 8 section, the motive, preparation, previous conduct. Now here 7 types of evidence is allowed. Number 1, facts which are necessary to explain the fact in issue or relevant fact. I will explain this to you. You have to the collateral facts, the subsidiary facts which may be necessary to explain the fact in issue or relevant fact are allowed under this section. Number 2, facts which are necessary to introduce the fact in issue or relevant fact. Without giving introduction in your evidence, your examination chief or cross-examination, you normally cannot build up a case. So you require to introduce, suppose if you are examining an expert, I will give you illustration later on, to you his qualification, his age, his experience. So these are, you introduce things before the court. I'll explain to this. Number 3, facts which support an inference suggested by a fact in issue or a relevant fact. So inferences are drawn. We know that may presume, shall presume. The court draws inferences under 114 of the Indian Evidence Act. We have seen so many illustrations. So in that cases, how the inferences are drawn, that kind of evidence is allowed to prove fact in issue. Then facts which can rebut inferences suggested by fact in issue or relevant fact. So you have a right of rebuttal in the other side leading an evidence against you. You can draw an inference. You can tell the court the inference drawn by him is unnecessary. So I may be allowed to lead evidence in rebuttal. So that evidence is also necessary. Then number 5, facts which establish the identity of anything. You are seen in criminal trial before the commission of the crime, when there are 5, 6 accused persons are arrested, you will not know the identity of the person. In a night-time robbery is committed, many witnesses have not seen it, or a moonlight, dim light. So you can make an application. The prosecution normally makes an application. The identifies the witnesses. You're holding a test identification parade. Now in the city of Bombay, you have seen the police officer, many of the accused persons are blindfolded. They are made to stand in a line. Then the why witnesses who are seen, they are asked to identify who the accused person is. Unless the identification parade is done, it is difficult to conduct a trial who the accused is. So normally this identification is done in the presence of the magistrate. A police officer is not much believed. Identification done before the police officer can at the best be called a statement recorded under section 162 and not admissible and needs corroboration. Whereas the magistrate holding test identification parade is equivalent to a recording of a confession under 164 CRPC, and he controls the proceeding. So a judicial color is given to it. So the court normally believes the identification parade conducted by the magistrate, a judicial magistrate especially. Then it also says facts which will fix time or place with the fact in issue or relevant fact that may happen are necessary. So there are time is fixed here. Certain contract, time is the essence of a contract. Where the place took place, or at what time the offense took place, where at what time and where in the city of Mumbai or Calcutta, Madras, at 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. So the accused may take up the plea of alibi. At the time the police prosecution says the offense has taken place in the city of Mumbai at Kolaba area at about 8 p.m. The accused will take up the plea. At 8 p.m. I was not in Kolaba. I was at Alibag. I was at my farm. I was in Calcutta. I was in Bangalore. So he will prove the record. So that is called timing is very important. Place is important. You are permitted to lead evidence. Of course, timing and place is not the fact in issue, nor it is the relevant fact, but it's a collateral fact which will demolish the fact in issue, which will demolish the assertion of the prosecution or the other side that at a given time the offense took place, at a given time the contract took place. I was not there. So that is called a pure plea of alibi that will be explained when we explain section 11. Facts which are not otherwise relevant become relevant. Okay. Then finally, facts which show the relation of the parties by whom such a fact was transacted. Relationship is shown. What is the jural relationship between the parties? Whether they are mortgagee, mortgager, whether they were landlord and tenant, licensee, licensor, when they are liable to pay certain charges with regard to the occupation of the property, court will see the jural relationship with the parties. So you have a right to establish your relationship, contractual relationship, non-contractual relationship, fiduciary relationship. Somebody is acting in a trust. As a trustee, you are bound to discharge your obligations and trust. You cannot appropriate and misappropriate. So you will show the court before the court of law. The defendant is acting in the relationship of the trustee. As a trustee, he cannot swallow my property. He is under obligation to transfer the right at the interest when the plaintiff has become minor or major as per the intention of the testator as reflected in the testament. So these are all evident. So 7 types of evidence which are allowed under the scheme of this act here. Now, this is what, yeah. Now, if you see the illustration, we see that will explain some of the these, at least if not the 7, at least 4 or 5 of the ingredients of section 9. The rest I will explain to you by giving the judgment. Now let us first start with the illustration. So you understood? And by virtue
Sir,
of section 9,
sir, could you explain how it is 7? I could only get 5.
7, number 1, facts which are necessary to explain the fact in issue. No, you are explaining. See? Isn't it? Explaining ho gaya. Number 2,
Yes, sir.
facts which are necessary to introduce. You are introducing the facts. Okay, number 2 ho gaya. Number 3,
Okay.
facts which support the inference suggested by the fact in issue. Isn't it?
Okay.
Number
Yes,
3.
sir.
Number 4, facts which rebut the inference. Huh? Pahla affirmative
Okay.
action, here negative action. Okay, that is 4. Number 5, fact establishing the identity of anything. Huh? Identity of the
Okay.
accused, identity of the article, identity of the suit premises. Isn't it? That
Yes,
is
sir.
5. Number 6, facts which fix the time or place is 6. Okay.
Okay, sir.
आपको number time and place. 9. Lastly, facts which show the relationship of the parties. हो गए number 7.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Underline कीजिए, write down. If you just read the section, you will not come to know. You have to painfully take down the notebook and write it down to remember this, to understand this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Now I will take the illustration. Then I will take up some judgments of the court, which as it did. Now let us see the illustration. The question is whether a given document is the will of A, the state of A's property and of his family at the date of the alleged will may be relevant fact. Now this is explaining, isn't it? This illustration is explaining exactly what is the nature. Just give me one minute. Yes. The question is whether a given document is the will of A, the state of A's property and of his family at the date of the alleged will may be relevant fact. So this particular illustration is connecting to you to what you call it here, the facts which are necessary to introduce the fact in issue. Sorry, necessary to explain the fact in issue. This is explaining. This is the document of A, the will. The question is whether a given document is the will of A, the state of his property, whether he was a pauper, whether he was a moneyed man, and his family. Here also you get relation at the date of the will may be irrelevant. So this explains his financial position. This explains his status, and also the people whom he have distributed the property. Maybe he is having his wife, maybe his children, maybe his domestic servant. So that the intention of the will, the surrounding circumstances, why is he excluding certain people whom he is not doing it here? This will explain his conduct. This will explain his background. Why is he doing it up here? Okay, number 2.
So the language is not clear. Is he saying at the time of making the will, or is it talking about in the will?
Whether it a document is the will of A, when the question is before the court of law, A may file a suit for declaration that it is the will of he may file a petition for probate, isn't it? One family member.
Yes, sir.
B will say that here he never made a will at all, and the signature is bogus, fabricated. So
Yeah.
the court will, in order to ascertain whether the document is will or not, whether it is a document. Of course, it has to satisfy the requirement of a Indian Succession Act. The will must be made in the presence of two witnesses, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Huh? Then one of the witnesses must come and depose before the court of law. Huh? So whether the fact he has given everybody equally, non-equally, is a disputed question. The petition के अंदर लिखा गया होगा. The moment it is disputed, about dispute arises, court will not directly grant the probate. Court will hold inquiry. Court will try the petition as if it's a civil suit, and leading all evidence, and the provisions of CPC and Evidence Act will be applicable. So at that time, while considering the evidence, the court will frame the issue whether the plaintiff prove that A has executed this will, whether it is signed by him, whether B prove that the will is fabricated, sham, colorable, whether the will was in existence or not, under what circumstances the will has come into picture. Suppose the A may have died and gone about 6 years ago. He has not produced the will. So the court will take into consideration whether the document is a will or not.
Whether
The
doctor
court has to decide first. You are allowed to explain. You are allowed to explain how the will came into existence. The will may have been kept with the testator, some trustee, or must have been lodged with the registration office. It was not brought to the court, and petition was not filed probate for many years, for A reason, B reason, C reason. The executor will take up the plea. I was in America, London, prosecuting my studies. I did not know that I had to take a probate. So these questions may arise whether the court will say you are allowed to lead question to explain that this is the document. This is the will which has been genuinely made by Mr. A. This is only for the purpose of introduction that the document has come in the proper custody.
Yes, sir.
So whether the probate should be granted, not granted, is not the material question. The only question, then the question will be what are his family members at the time of the making of the will? Why is he excluding his wife? Why is he excluding his other children? Why is he giving it to strangers? That question may come, isn't it? The plaintiff has to explain the reason he is not given it to wife A, B, C. She abandoned him. Children didn't look after him. The contention may came up. The executor may say he wanted to give it in trust. He wanted to give it to servant. He wanted to give it to an institution. So that gentleman will explain the circumstances under which the will came into existence, came to be executed. So you are allowed to lead evidence. See, it is definitely not connected to the other thing, but it is connected to the circumstances to explain and the introduction of the will. That is a collateral evidence, I will call it. And of course, one of the author also has used it, the expression a collateral evidence. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Question, illustration number B. A sues B for libel imputing disgraceful conduct to A. B affirms that the matter alleged to be libelous is true. The position and relation of the parties at the time when libel was published may be relevant fact as introductory to the factual issue. Now this will explain the introduction. Now how the relationship between the parties. Now when a suit for defamation is filed by A against B, they may take a lead evidence here. Both are belonging to rival parties, A party, B party. They stood for election rallies. In the rallies, A began ranting, raving, indulging in a campaign of vilification, slandering, abusing. So, in that connection, a suit has been filed. A disgraceful conduct के बारे में And B admits because he has got tape record evidence which has been produced by the court before the court. A tape record evidence in the nature of under section 65B of the Indian Evidence Act with a certificate and the mobile phone के ऊपर भी उनका evidence record कर लिया आपने. समझे ना आप? Everything is produced. Like in the case of defamation between MJ Akbar and that lady in question from USA, the journalist who worked under him, the defamation is more or less admitted. But she said that, yes, I admit having said against him. But I dispute the fact that he holds any reputation. Isn't it? She challenged his reputation. He doesn't hold any good reputation. He claimed to be a man of very high reputation, which I disagree. But she admits, yes, I have blamed him. I have indulged in a campaign of vilification against him. I have slandered him. It's a fact. It came in newspaper. I said about it. This is my column. She had no. She did not. She had the guts to admit it, and she was very courageous woman. So when the explanations are very clear. Then she introduced herself. In what connection she said it? And she said it. I was impressed by him at the time when I went for interview. I wanted to be a great journalist like him, like MJ Akbar, for example. And in the interview, called me to a 5-star hotel in Mumbai. In the lobby I sat, he asked me to come in the room. He's misbehaved with me. So these are all the relations she explained. These are the explaining, introducing the fact in issue. So you are permitted to lead this kind of evidence. So you are introducing yourself, who you are at the time. आपकी पुरानी history आ जाएगी इसके अंदर, chronological events के अंदर. See, when you follow the MJ Akbar's case, is very much clear. The lady journalist came down all the way from America, USA. She came and gave evidence in Delhi. She reported the incident. You please read that. It's a very interesting case that will straight away fit into illustration B of the section 9. She is introducing facts for the purpose of explaining and introducing herself and showing the relationship between herself and MJ Akbar, mean the complainant. So this illustration B will be an answer to both fact necessary to introduce as well as showing relations. Is that clear? Anybody wants any question?
So in this, normally you make the fact and then you corroborate. Here you are corroborating first and then introducing the main fact.
No, corroboration means you are leading evidence of other people under 157 of the Evidence Act. You are giving the history of the case. You are establishing the foundation.
Yes, sir.
You are establishing your foundation. You are establishing the relationship. You are explaining and introducing yourself, who you were, how you came in contact, what were your relation with him. I was his apprentice. I was his junior. I wanted to work under him, take training under him. Isn't it?
Yeah, yes, sir. So
I went for interview. Which he took it in the 5-star hotel in Mumbai. He took me to his room. He misbehaved.
yes, sir. But
I tolerated it for the sake of learning.
yeah, sir. But in this case, you will not start first that he misbehaved with me and then introduce this. You will introduce this and then say that he misbehaved with me, because normally
Yes.
you do.
You have
Yeah.
to. It is like putting up a foundation of your construction. You don't build a 7 floor, 8 floors immediately.
Yes, sir.
You will go for a foundation. You are laying the foundation of your case.
Yes,
If you
sir.
want to lay the foundation of your case, section 9 is very important. Please note that.
And it should
Section 9 के अंदर
always
you are
be done, no, sir.
introducing. I will also give the examples of your case. Section 9 के अंदर आता ही है. I am telling you. I will
Okay,
give
sir.
you next. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Then yes, number yeah. Yes. Aja, before giving the illustration, then I think I would like to explain to you directly from some of the judgment. Will explain to you. See that here? Yeah. Shall I first take the illustration or take the judgments?
So
I think illustration
whatever
complete
you
कर
think
लेंगे
would be
बड़ा.
better for us, sir.
Yeah, because I am connecting the illustration. ठीक है, illustration लेके judgment लेता हूँ. That will be more clear to you. Yeah, number 3, the position. Yeah, C. C में आ जाइए. Then see, the particulars of the dispute between A and B about a matter unconnected with the alleged libel, relevant, though the fact that they were dispute may be relevant if it is affected the relation between A and B. It's like in the nature of a more hearsay. Like you will see the illustration C to section 6. Section 6 में आ जाइए आप. A sues B for a libel containing a letter forming the part of the correspondent, letters between the parties relating to the subject matter out of which the libel arose, and forming part of the correspondent to which it is contained are relevant, though the fact do not contain libel itself. Isn't it? This is exactly like illustration 6, C to section 6, that is a B to section 9. They are more or less similar. So they are in the nature of a contemporaneous evidence, a res geste evidence, which third parties are also leading it, and several letters written, several articles written by party for explaining, for introducing themselves and showing the relationship are relevant. Then the particulars of dispute between A and B are relevant. Okay. Next, C. A is accused of a crime. The fact that soon after the commission of the crime, A absconds from his house, like section 8 के अंदर पढ़े आपने, conduct के ऊपर, is relevant under section 8 as conduct subsequent to and affected by the fact in issue. See, conduct itself may not be a fact in issue, nor it is a relevant fact. Isn't it? Like in the illustration we gave you of the government law college student, in the government law college, it was announced that some student lost her ring of a valuable wristwatch. Announcement was made, police is coming to look out for a person who's it. Then immediately B runs away. That doesn't mean that he's a thief, but that shows his conduct under section 8. But for proving the offense of theft under 380, 379, 381 of the Indian Penal Code, that evidence under section 8 with regard to motive can also be led to show that that is what it happened. So you are introducing the fact in issue before the court, how it happened. See. Then D checker. Then uske baad, the fact that at the time when he left home, he had sudden urgent business at the place which he went is relevant and tending to explain the fact that he left home thoroughly. So the student who left can take up the plea that I left not because the police, I was petrified on account of the announcement that the police is coming, but I had an urgent commitment. So he is explaining the fact as to why he ran away. So he is leading successfully evidence before the court and he explains the reason. So that under section 9, that is allowed, that is explanation, necessary to explain. He is necessary to explain or introducing to the fact and issue. Then see, the details of the business on which he left are not relevant, except insofar as they are necessary to show that the business was sudden and urgent. So you may take up the plea that I had to leave urgently the meeting or the classroom, that my father suffered a heart attack. I received a message. I had to attend to the doctor. Remove him to hospital. That has explained that explains your conduct. Yeah. Then D में आ जाइए. A sues B for inducing C to break a contract of service made by him with A. A sues B for inducing C to break a contract of service made by him with C. C, on leaving A service, says to A, I am leaving you because B has made me a better offer. This statement is relevant as explanatory of C's conduct, which is relevant as a fact in issue. Suppose you have employed the services of a good stenographer in your office, a very efficient stenographer. I, as your friend, meet you in your office. I admire the work done by your stenographer. I secretly ask the stenographer how much salary she's getting. She will tell me that I am receiving 10,000. So I will tell her, I will offer you 20, 15,000. Why don't you work for me? So I am inducing your stenographer to leave your job and come to me. So after I went away, after few days, your stenographer tells you, look here, I am leaving you tomorrow. I don't like you for reason. B is offering me better services, I am going to. So you will file me a suit against me for claiming damages, because I am responsible for the breach of contract with your stenographer. So the statement of C, which made in that connection, what I offered inducement to her, are relevant. So that is the reason that explains the conduct of your stenographer. That statement can be introduced.
Will I,
Is an
will I,
introductory fact.
so will I sue you or will I sue the steno? The steno is the one breaking the contract.
Yes, because you are the one who filed the suit against me. समझे ना आप? The conduct of the C is very important. Yeah, the statement are relevant. See, because the stenographer makes a statement, I am leaving you because your friend has given a better offer. So her statement is relevant. So I will examine her as a witness.
Yes, sir, but the contract is between the employer and the employee, no sir. So how can you sue the third person for inducing breach of contract?
Breach of contract, I am responsible, na? यहाँ पे the suit is A. A sues B for inducing C. I am responsible for the breakage under Section 79 of the Indian Contract Act or Specific Relief Act. A suit can be filed against me.
Okay, sir.
I am instrumental in breaking it. समझे ना आप? I, being your neighbor and friend,
yes, sir,
I acted in a breach of faith and trust. समझे ना आप? You can claim damages against me. Yes. E. A is accused of theft. A is seen to give stolen property to B, who is seen to give to A's wife. B says, as he delivers it, A says, you are to hide this. B's statement is relevant as explanatory of fact, which is part of the transaction. So here again, it's a hearsay statement on the part of the B, whom he tells here, your husband has given this stolen article with a direction that you must hide this. So when a suit is filed, when a prosecution is filed for theft here, that statement is relevant as explanatory. So all this illustration is confining to introduction and explanation and not to other, but I will give you other thing. Then A is tried for a right. A is tried for right and is proved to have marched at the head of a march. The cries of the mob are relevant as explanatory of the nature of the transaction. This is equal to section 6, illustration A, the res geste statement. res geste पढ़े ना आपने? res geste statement है. And this particular illustration is based upon a famous English trial case. The case of Lord George Gordon's case. Have you heard of George Gordon? Anybody in the IPC? पढ़े आपने? The famous trial of Lord George Gordon. Lord Gordon, no? What is America? London, the place is called Gordon. A Duke of Gordon. Have you heard of this?
Lord Gordon, Lord Gordon Byron,
Lord
sir?
Gordon. Lord Gordon. The trial is mentioned there. This illustration F is found on the well-known case of this R versus Lord Gordon, which took place.
Yes, sir. The typhoid fever case, sir.
Yes, I will briefly give the facts of the case. This is somewhere in the early, 18th century. 18th century. He is the son of a Duke of Gordon, this gentleman, and he is also a parliamentarian in England. The parliament, in England, there's a big conflict between the Protestant and the Catholics. There are two types of Catholics there. Protestant, the royal people all are Protestants, and the Catholics are ill-treated. You must be knowing it here. If you do not know, this is the case I'll give you. A legislation was passed, and they did not have voting right in the early 70s. In the 17th century, the Catholics in England did not have voting right. They could not buy properties. It's a marginalized community. Now, somewhere in the year 1786 and all, the British Parliament, yes, during the French Revolution or the American, when America was about to settle it here, that's the time, relevant time. There was that you can call it here. They passed a legislation. That legislation is, I will just see the name of the legislation is Papsy Act. Papsy Act. Have you heard of the Papsy Act of 1778? Under which the British Parliament sought to give certain rights to the Catholic group, allowing them to vote and buy some properties in England, which was not appreciated by the Lord Gordon, the MP, and he went on demonstration, like the Trump camp in America, that black versus and the white supremacist. So these gentlemen, he held a big rally, a big mob, more than about 40 to 60,000 collected. They were shouting, ranting, all kinds of vilification against the parliamentarians. They burnt houses. They killed around. The rioting took place for more than about 7 to 8 days, and about 700 people were reported dead in this incident. So the Lord Gordon was tried for treason, high treason, which is like our waging a war against India. In the Indian Penal Code, you have the provisions of Section 124A, isn't it? In the IPC, you must be knowing it. Offenses against the state. So high treason, he was charged. So while conducting the jury, the statements made by the writers were accepted by the jury and taken on record, and that illustration has picked up on account of that. Yes, see, A is tried for right and is proved to have marched at the head of a mob. The cries of the mob are relevant as explanatory of the nature of the transaction. So, George,
So I have a question regarding this. In this,
hmm,
I've read up on this case because I had done an English literature major. So in this case exactly, they
yes,
had
yes,
said that the character of this George Gordon was taken into consideration. But if you go to, and like 15 to 20 witnesses were put on
yes,
the stand saying that, he's of good character, etc., etc. But, sir, wouldn't waging war, so to
yes.
speak, have nothing to do with character also?
Now, now
It's like
yes, you
whether
are
you're a
right.
good person or a bad person, waging a war is at the end of the day waging a war, right? So, and people have died, right?
Yes, ultimately he was let off, but he died in the prison. Hello, you can hear me?
Yes, sir, I know. He
You all
died
can
of
hear me?
typhoid fever.
Yeah, he died, and the principle under the illustration F is found on this principle because in the case of right conspiracy, etc., the declaration of all concern in the common object, though not the defendant, are admissible as explanatory of the common object. Now, in India, we have got section 34 of the IPC. You know that common object. Everybody possess. If there are more than two accused person, they are harboring common object. Isn't it? Section 34 पढ़े ना आपने IPC का? So, to find out as to exactly conspiracy is hatched, it will be necessary to explain the relevant fact into consideration. So, whatever is said by the writers, the people who participated, is taken as evidence, like hearsay evidence, like it is a res geste evidence under Section 6. समझे ना आप? What is the time, Ashish, now?
So
Hello?
it's 6:53, almost 7.
6:53. Yes, almost 7. I will just take one more, then we stop. Then I have to recharge my battery. I will change the location here because I am not able to connect my thing properly. I'll go inside. I will take one more illustration.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Now let's see. So, ये हो गया illustration. Now, I will come back to explain to you each of the illustration. Number one, facts which are necessary to explain the fact in issue. Here, there is a this there is a kind of evidence which, if considered separately, it is taken into consideration in connection with the other fact. Now, the explanatory fact is not relevant itself. What you seek evidence is not relevant. Uh, Now, one of the cases which I am giving you will explain. That is a Noor Muhammad versus Emperor. If you have got, you can take it out, Ashish. That is reported in AIR 1994 Sindh का case है. Just see in your Google के ऊपर जाइए मिलेगा आपको. AIR 1994 Sindh 93 Noor Muhammad versus Emperor. Are you able to find this?
Yes, sir, it's up.
Yes. In this judgment, Noor Muhammad was tried for abducting one Saidan lady. Then once during the investigation, this Saidan was being taken to the police station. Then Noor Muhammad was loitering in the way. Then on seeing Noor Muhammad, Saidan at once cried out to the brother Qasim that this man was one of her abductor. So she told the brother, this man is one of the abductor. Then Qasim told the head constable who was with him, and the head constable immediately arrested Qasim. Third party को arrest करता इसके अंदर. When the trial proceeded, the complainant was won over by the accused, and she did not implicate Noor Muhammad, nor anybody else. That means she didn't want to complicate the issue. She didn't want to support. Maybe she was declared hostile. Then the prosecution wanted to produce Qasim, the brother of the Sadia, to depose that at the time when Sadia was being taken to the police station, seeing Noor Muhammad, she cried she cried. Yeah, she had cried to her brother and told him that he is one of the abductor. समझे ना? It was held that the statement of Qasim and Sadia were denounced. Nur Muhammad, one of the abductor, was administered. It was admissible as explaining the circumstances of Nur Muhammad was arrested, and also for the purposes of establishing his identity. So the lady made a statement. She cried and told her brother, "I am seeing the gentleman Khali. He is one of the abductor." At the trial, she backed out. But the prosecution wanted to lead evidence to show that here, this is the explanatory evidence that explains the circumstances. That is how the evidence, that is evidence coming under section 9 in the first limb, evidence necessary to explain the fact issue. So it was allowed to be led, and it also establishes the identity of the accused. Then the next case is Rana Lalu versus Emperor. That you can also take it out. I will stop this after the judgment. That is reported in AIR 1938 Sin, page number 97. Rana Lalu versus Emperor. This is an old judgment, a classic judgment. Here the prosecution case was that Rana Lalu killed his wife on the morning with an axe. Axe se maar diya uske andar. Their son, a child of 5 years, was beside them. At the time when he killed the wife, the 5-year child was next to them. Then the child made a cry, hue and cry, that attracted witnesses who found Rana with axe in his hand and the deceased within near him. So the reason why the crowd got collected, witnesses got collected, is the child's cry. Then the child's evidence was not recorded for some reason. Under the Evidence Act, child witness is also allowed, but they are not recorded it. Then the witnesses deposed as to what the child had said, and upon that they reached. It was held that the witnesses could speak to the nature of the cry and even to what the child said, so far as it explains their conduct. So the court permitted the witnesses to depose. I mean, the question was asked to them, what is the reason for you to be there when husband and wife are fighting? So the witnesses explained, the reason we came because we are the immediate neighbors. The child cried. The child said, my father is killing my mother. He was shouting. Those cries attracted us. We went there. So this is a explanatory of the conduct on the part of the witnesses. Okay? We'll stop here. We'll join each other in another 5 minutes. Okay?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
I will change the location and go inside only. Okay. Bye.
Okay, sir.
Have a cup of tea. We all meet. Then I'll explain the introductory facts.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Bye. अरे उत्तम, हमको अंदर जाना पड़ेगा. उत्तम, ज्योति.